My name is Christian Ventura. I'm the chef owner of Sushi Momo.
Okay, so first of all, thank you for taking the time to speak with me today about this new location you opened up in Toronto.
Yeah.
Could you take a second to just introduce yourself and maybe just a brief bio? I'm familiar with a lot of your past restaurants and stuff like that. But maybe just a short bio for anybody else that is not so familiar.
Yeah, well, my name is Christian Ventura. I'm the chef owner of Sushi Momo. I'm originally from Mexico City. Not Mexico City, but from Mexico.
Okay.
I've been in Canada 17 years.
Okay.
And then I opened Sushi Momo 10 years ago. So I've been vegan around 12 years.
So you're vegan for a couple of years and then decided you were in the culinary space before?
Yeah, actually my first job when I got to Canada was in a Japanese restaurant.
Okay.
That's why I learned everything, all the technique from Japanese cuisine, and I applied it to vegan.
Interesting. And that was in Montreal, that restaurant?
In Montreal.
Your location in Montreal is very popular. I remember going there and making sure I had a reservation.
Yeah, that was before COVID. It was probably when you went there, we didn't have the takeout counter. So to make a reservation there, you need to book in advance, like at 3 months.
Oh,
to make it at 7 o'clock, because everybody wants to eat at 7. So
right.
You want to really that spot, you need to really book in advance. But then we opened the takeout place, just a restaurant just specializing in takeout.
Yeah.
So that it makes
right beside it, right?
It was right beside it, but now we move a little bit, like 5 minutes away. The landlord increased my rent, and they wanted to charge me.
Okay.
They say, "Oh, they're doing well," so they wanted to increase the rent right away. So
my business is a hurdle will come up, and it's all about how you go around it or go over it.
Yeah. It's always a
solution.
Yeah, right. Always thinking about a solution. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a very popular location there. It's obviously a hit. People love it. People from Toronto know about Sushi Momo.
Yeah, I'm surprised that so many people. I never realized that many people from Toronto knew Sushi Momo.
Yeah.
Until I'm here, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I
remember when I first went there, I said, where should I go? To some people, and they're like, you have to go to Sushi Momo. It was definitely one of the ones. And then I think you went to the taqueria up on DuPont. Taqueria Vegana.
Yeah.
And I had just gone there, and someone was like, "Oh, did you see Christian?" It was like somebody from Instagram.
Oh.
So you're known in Toronto, and that's just before I knew that this location was opening up.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, so it's interesting. So you're known here. So it's a hit in Montreal. What made you decide to open up this location here?
To be honest, I never thought to open here. Everything happened very fast. Like in the past 3-4 months. Like let's say in April we were talking about to open here, and now it's opening. We open in August.
Wow.
But how it happened was because in Montreal I also have a burger place.
Yeah.
Vegan burgers.
Right.
And then next to me, it was another vegan joint, the burger place. Burger Fiance.
Yeah.
So we were like a kind of
staying right in that area.
Yeah, we were right next to each other, we were neighbors.
You were first?
No, they were first.
Oh, but I think I read you were going to open, and they opened.
Yeah, I signed the lease, and 2 months later they opened. But I didn't know there was a burger because they didn't announce it or anything. They just opened.
What are the odds of having 2 vegan burgers in the same block?
Anyways, so in April, one of the owners of Burger Fiance called me to see if we can do something about it, because we were just sharing all the customers.
Right.
So at the end, we decided to merge both locations to one. So we became partners. And then they used to own Hello 123 here, the same guys.
Okay.
And they closed Hello 123, and they didn't want to give it to somebody else that is not vegan. So they said, why we don't bring Sushi Momo to Toronto?
Okay, so it's through that initial collaboration in Montreal
Well, we decided to.
that led to this. Oh,
Yeah.
amazing. I remember I went to both burger places when I was there, and I remember Hello 123
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Great patio,
Yeah.
really great location.
Yeah, it was. I didn't know anything about it so until I came after we talked on the phone with the guy for the merging the two locations. I came to Toronto, and I saw the neighborhood. Pretty cool neighborhood. It reminds me of the Plateau in Montreal. So
yeah, it's nice. I think it's nice. I grew up just up the street, so
yeah, it was pretty cool.
yeah.
So I saw the location. I'm like, oh yeah, it could work.
Felt right.
All right.
That was one of my questions because I saw that Hello 123, their Instagram, they said they were teaming up with you.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask a little bit about is it.
Yeah.
I didn't know that they still own this property. And
Yeah.
still, I haven't been in this area, so I didn't know nothing had opened up since they closed.
Yeah. They closed just in February.
Yeah, not too long ago.
Not too long ago.
So when was the grand opening for here? I wasn't up to date as much.
I mean, there is no grand opening yet. We still like it's hard for the staff. It's all new staff here.
Okay.
We didn't bring anything from Montreal except myself. We
started
didn't
from
bring
scratch.
Yeah, we started from scratch. So
The menu too?
it's very similar to the Montreal location, like a 90% the same.
Oh.
We have a new few items here.
I think I noticed you have a omakase.
It's called omakase in
So you have
Montreal.
it there? I couldn't remember because it's
But
a bit of time.
In Montreal, when we introduce the omakase, it's called omakase, but when the servers say to the customer, they say more like a table d'hôte,
Oh, okay.
like a tasting menu.
Right.
Because people don't understand omakase,
Right.
even though it's written omakase.
Right.
Actually, we have a bad review because they say, oh, in Montreal you have a tasting menu, you don't have it here. But we have it. It's called the same.
It's called the traditional way of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the 10% difference is just new plates you wanted to, new dishes you wanted to try out, or something that fits for Toronto, or?
I mean, it's so many items I always wanted to put on this Montreal location, but we couldn't take out some items from Montreal location because people know it already. So, okay. And I wanted to try something new for here to have something new.
Right. Nice. Yeah. Nice new.
It was always on my mind to have them, but I couldn't put it at the moment at the Montreal location. So it was perfect timing.
Okay. In going forward now, once you have this place running smoothly and everything, do you plan to share your time between here and Montreal, or is this kind of you still spend most of your time?
I don't know, Montreal
His home. Yeah.
I will come feel like it's still like once or twice per month, but no stay here.
And you're in the kitchen every day there, or you have a head chef kind of runs things, and you come.
We have already chef in the. Oh, I'm the head chef, but
Right.
there is already a chef in the kitchen.
Right.
All the recipes I do always.
Yeah, you create the menu.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was very excited hearing about this because for a couple of reasons. I love the location in Montreal, the food and the decor, everything about it. Attention to detail. It's a good place with good food.
That's the problem. It's hard to replicate it.
Yeah.
Because it's like so people that have been working there like 3-4 years, so they know very well what they're selling, and bringing this one here with somebody who doesn't even know what it is, to explain it's gonna take time to.
It takes time, and it's what's the word? Not a risk, but it's you don't know what will come out of it. You can create something and then see where.
And then the
where
people
it goes.
who already tried the Montreal location are expecting the same here.
Right.
It will be eventually possible. The food is the same. It's just the ambience and the service is going to take a while because it takes time for
to build that up.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So I was happy because I love that location, but also in Toronto here, I follow quite closely the scene and how many restaurants we have. I have a list on my website about all of the restaurants, and recently we've been having some closures. A lot of restaurants since COVID have closed.
It's something in Montreal. Like before pandemic, there were like every month there were like a one or two new restaurant open up, and then after pandemic is like
yeah. And it's too bad. Restaurant turnover is high anyways, but especially with vegan restaurants, it's tough when we lose them. So.
But I have a theory about it. I don't know if it's true or
yeah.
not. I would like to say.
Well, that's what I was leading to. I wanted to see what you thought about this.
Because the thing is, before pandemic, if you were vegan, if you go to a regular restaurant, there were no vegan options besides a salad or something very simple.
Yeah.
But after COVID, the regular restaurant, they have like a more vegan options, like a 1, 2, 3 vegan options. So if you are vegan now, you can go to any restaurant and eat with your friends. Before it couldn't happen that you bring your friends to the vegan restaurant. So you used to go more to vegan restaurants.
Right.
Now I hear it's not a bad thing. And many vegan, they get excited when one not vegan restaurant have a vegan option.
When Haagen-Dazs releases a vegan version, right? Everybody wants to go try
and
that.
Then you don't support the vegan, the one that is fully vegan, and then you complain that it's closed, but you don't go and support it.
Right.
You go to support the other big company that have one vegan option, and you are celebrating it.
And they're doing that for different reasons than people open a vegan restaurant.
And I understand they do because sometimes in a small town they only have that restaurant with one vegan option, and you would be happy for them. But
Montreal and Toronto, we have, at my count, 49 right now.
Yeah.
It's a lot. We used to have over 60 though. Not too long ago, around with COVID time. So I think also it might be because of that reason that we have so many. So vegans, not that long ago, you maybe had a handful of places you could go, and now there's so many. I think that also is making it a bit more difficult for, how should I, with any restaurants, there's different quality. And as vegans, you go and you want to support vegan businesses, of course, but when you have a business that really pays attention to detail and has amazing product, they're probably going to get a bit more than other ones that, for whatever reason, quality is not as good.
Yeah.
So I think with the more numbers, it's tough to sustain it on that level too.
Yeah.
But it's very interesting to think about that, and it makes sense that all these other restaurants are, and if you're in Toronto, pretty much everywhere has vegan options.
Yeah, now, but before it was not a thing. You would have only like
and you had to ask for it.
You had to ask for it.
Now they have like their own menu and a lot of stuff too. Yeah. Well, are you worried at all about this trend, kind of recently of closure?
Well, of course, I mean, of course I'm worried. Well, it's like any other restaurant, it's always a risk to open, but it's a restaurant if you have that risk that you might close, but plus you are vegan, so you are more niche, so your risk is higher. So yeah, of course I'm
more
worried.
vulnerable.
But more vulnerable.
Yeah.
But the other thing, that's why I don't like to label my restaurant in the window B.
Right.
Because as soon as I do that, I'm delivering 96 for Canada is like a 4% vegan.
The population.
The population is
average,
4% is vegan.
Right.
So as soon as you put vegan on the door, you are scaring 96% of the customers, because you have at the Montreal location, 80% are not vegan, our customers.
I was going to ask you, I know there's no question there, when someone enters, but I wondered if you had an idea,
Sometimes there are people that I never know that it's vegan until they realize at the end when we explain the dishes, it's the vegan shrimp,
really?
And they really like it, and then they come back.
Right.
But if they knew it was vegan, they wouldn't even enter the restaurant.
It is too bad. I hate,
They
they
don't even want to try it when you say this vegan. That's the sad thing.
Yeah, I'll never get this sentiment. I don't like vegan food.
I mean, guacamole is vegan.
Yeah, it's the same food.
If you tell them you say this is guacamole, they try it or they like it. But this is a vegan guacamole, they will be like, oh.
Yeah.
Even if it's the same thing.
It's bizarre. It's kind of like you're having one arm tied behind your back.
Yeah.
When you're fighting against sentiment that you really have no control over yourself. But I guess part of the antidote to that is to have just great food, and like you said, I guess it's too bad you can't say, hey, this is a vegan restaurant, but I guess you let the food speak for
if people
itself.
ask, yes, we say, but it's just no. I don't put it in the front of the door like that.
And the vegan people will find out. We root out where to go, so you don't really need to.
Yeah.
We'll know. We sit on Happy Cow or websites.
But the other reason, some people will really complain, oh, you didn't tell me there was vegan, blah, 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 blah. I feel
Oh,
stupid.
you would get that too?
Yeah. But it's like
I guess
it goes both ways.
you can't make everybody happy.
Yeah.
I guess focus on the food and then hopefully, this is just a small percentage of your headache.
Yeah.
So, just briefly, like how much have costs gone up for you? Say last year for restaurants. Like one by me, they said the cost they make sandwiches and the cost of tofu has gone up like 2 times. Have costs really gone up for you?
Well, to start, that's also the problem with vegan restaurants. People think because it's vegan, it's cheaper.
They say it's cheaper, or they think, oh, it's too expensive. I can't.
No. But the people who are not vegan, they think, oh, I'm going to a vegan restaurant. They think it's going to be cheap because it's vegan,
less.
because it's vegetables.
Right.
Because meat is expensive and vegetables are cheap.
Right.
But vegetables are very expensive too sometimes. No.
It's I guess a different discussion, but all the subsidies with the meat industry.
Yeah.
That's a different discussion, but yeah.
I know it's but some things I haven't noticed like a huge difference of prices. Just certain items maybe.
Okay.
Like for me, it would be the avocado that it goes up and down, but like
Right.
I would say not double price of anything.
Okay, that's good.
But me, I'm always trying to look for better ways to get better pricing for my product, even though if it's more work for me. Let's say before I used to order for a company the vegetables, they bring me to the restaurant. Now what I do, I go to the market and buy it myself.
Right.
So that way it's cheaper for me. It's more work for me, but at the same time,
Keep your costs competitive.
when I looked at the one that it was before or even lower, it's just trying to find solutions, not just complaining about everything expensive. Or is there a way to find solutions?
Finding a way to keep costs down.
To keep with the
Well, we appreciate that.
it's
when-
surfing with the waves, like
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. What would you say is your biggest challenge these days?
staff.
Turnover or just finding staff?
After COVID, it was the finding staff. Now it's a turnover because now you find people. They say they want to work full time, but full time now is not the full time before COVID. Full time now is 3 days a week, 5 hours shift. That's a full time for them now. So it's not the same as before.
So less. You need more people to fill the same amount of time.
Yeah.
And you have higher turnover.
Yeah, and they are not as efficient as before because we lost a lot of cooks during the pandemic because they switch profession.
Right.
They realize it's a hard job. I understand. I have done it myself. If you don't have the passion,
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's hard.
You're working 8-10 hours in a hot.
Yeah, I work every day. I don't have days off. I don't have holidays. I don't have this, and I don't mind because I love what I do.
Yeah.
It has been like that since
since you opened?
Yeah, I
in
opened 2014.
2014.
I take vacation once a year.
Where do you go?
Sometimes I go to Mexico, sometimes go anywhere.
I love Mexico. I go
I
at
work-
least once a year.
Yeah, I work every single day. There is no like a 9 to 5 or job for me. It's like that. Anytime.
I've heard that from other restaurant owners or deli owners. And, someone was telling me that they wanted to open a restaurant. I'm like, do you know how much work?
The thing is, many people think that opening a restaurant it's fun. They think like, oh, I can bring my friends. We can have. It's like a party for them. It's like a barbecue at the backyard.
Yeah.
When you open a restaurant, it's not like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything could go wrong.
Is,
Like every single day, something could go wrong.
and it's up to you to put out those fires, so to speak.
Yeah. Dishwasher is not working. Something is leaking. Something our worker didn't show up. So.
Yeah.
And you can stop working. You cannot say to the customer, we're closed today.
Yeah, you gotta figure a way. Same with staff too, right? What would you say is your favorite dish, if you have one, from the menu? Favorite to make, or favorite to see how people respond to it, or
The Mr. Crunch.
Mr. Crunch?
Yeah. That is my favorite. Yeah, it's my favorite, and it's one of the. It's the best seller too.
Okay, one of the most popular.
It's the one
It's been on the menu for a long time?
Since 2018.
Okay.
Well, actually, I created that dish to impress a date.
Oh, yeah.
And but yeah, it worked at the time, but
Yeah.
then we stayed together 5 years, and when we broke up, but still the dish is there.
The dish.
It's staples, yeah.
That's nice. I don't know, I can't remember if I tried that when I was
Probably not.
I'll have to try it. I'll have to try it, for sure. What ingredients do you like working with the most? Is there something that's challenging, or like
Well, I love pickles.
pickled, like any pickled vegetable, or like pickled cucumber?
Pickled vegetables.
Uh.
You will see pickles and avocado.
Yeah.
So if you see the menu,
Yeah.
most of the items has avocado or a pickle ingredient in it.
Oh,
Either Japanese pickle or house-made pickle. So anything, something pickled, there's a pickle
Yeah.
ingredient.
that's good. Those are probably two of my favorites.
And I like crunchy stuff.
Yeah. Briefly, okay. Do you have anything special events planned for the future here? Like, are you planning to do like a grand opening at some point?
I mean, we just hoping to do it more organically. Because when you do the big opening, like
Yeah.
all people come at the same time and they expect that the best service and everything, and then you are not prepared.
Right.
So usually, I rather have like a smooth growth here than announce a big. And anyway, we have so far it has been so good. We have like so many customers. So
I could imagine, because the word has been spreading around, and especially in the vegan community, I think everybody knows about it by now. But it's funny, like people are really excited, and I was the same. I have a big name. Come here when we lost these other ones that we loved, and we're like, okay, yes, this is going in the right direction.
and then actually we just launched Uber like last Sunday.
Okay.
Like it has been like a week, and we have a customer, some customer who has ordered already 3-4 times.
Oh yeah. When you find the place, I frequent 3-4 places. Kind of. What do you feel like? Go through the rotation. Okay, so I think I just have 2 more here, and they're pretty short. But what would you say is the most rewarding part of being chef, business owner of a vegan place?
For me, is when I see people eating my. I don't go. I'm not the kind of chef who go to every table and ask, how was the food?
Yeah.
But I'm always looking with people the reaction. That I think that's the most rewarding part for me. Like they say they enjoy the food.
Mm-hmm.
They don't say it, but you can see right away when somebody likes something.
Yeah. And then, but for peak customer, I think people vote with their dollars, and to have a busy place and repeat people coming back. I think that really shows. And I never saw the one in Montreal not busy. Every time I went, it was.
But me, and also the funny part about me is like I'm from a very small town. So when I told my dad that I wanted to become a chef, I knew it since I was 5 years old because I always loved cooking shows. So.
Yeah.
But my dad said not to me because he wanted me to become a doctor.
Right.
Because it's Mexico, you know. You need to be something.
And more secure.
Yeah, something secure for
secure.
Yeah. So I was always insecure. So I never went to culinary school or anything. So, but I always wanted to cook. So for me to get to this point without going to culinary school or anything, it's like, oh, I'm still don't believe it, but it's like I have just so many customers.
Like how did you get here?
Yeah.
So you learned to cook from that job in the first Japanese restaurant?
Well, I learned the technique, and then from then I watch YouTube videos. I watch. I learn. I read books, or on Instagram now. I looking always the new trends or anything related with food. I always like to see all the TV shows. I have seen them, everything.
Oh,
yeah. Maybe it's just not about because you can get inspiration even in no vegan food, obviously. So I like to watch everything related to food to get inspiration or anything.
That's amazing, but I didn't know that it didn't have any formal.
I didn't have any formal. I never went to culinary school or anything. I never took a cooking class.
Maybe that's what you can feel. I'm still new to getting the language down to why I like the things I like or why I like the restaurants I like.
And you can see I don't follow the traditional recipes sometimes, like the traditional techniques, let's say. I do the Japanese techniques, but sometimes I'm not in that box. If you go to a school, they will put you in a box. Like you have to do this certain way because it's the way it is.
Right.
But with vegan, you cannot do that sometimes. You need to think outside of the box.
Right.
And since I don't have that training, I don't follow those kind of rules.
Interesting.
That's my fear.
Yeah. But I could see that being very, yeah. Okay. So the last thing is, you're still fresh in this release. Is there something in the distance that you have your eye on, or you gonna play it, relax, get this going, and?
Well, it's always like I always say, oh, this is the last thing I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
But since my first location in Montreal, it was very small, 10 seats. When I opened the first time, I opened with $8,000. My first location.
Rent and some food.
With the rent and everything was already 8,000, so I have nothing left.
Wow.
But luckily, it got very popular since the beginning. So when I opened, this is for me. Nothing bigger than this. 1 year later, I expanded to a bigger location. The year after, to a bigger location, and then I opened the takeout counter, and then I opened Bloom Sushi as well. I don't know if you're familiar with Bloom Sushi.
I knew Bloom, and I read that what I read was that
I partnered with somebody with the Love restaurant.
Oh, I didn't know Love was part of that too. Because Love had a location here that sadly also closed.
Well, they opened in a very expensive location.
King Street, King and Bath. Nice. It was a beautiful place.
It was a beautiful place.
And it looked amazing inside, but
I know why it closed, but anyway, it's not part of my anyway, so then I partnered with a guy of Love. We opened Bloom. We opened a second Bloom in Montreal. And then there are 2 franchises on Paris of Bloom.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I was just there.
Yeah. There's in the 17th arrondissement.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
There was some very good vegan food there.
Yeah. And then there's another franchise in Quebec City.
Oh, okay.
So and then I opened the vegan the vegan joint burger place.
Right. What's it called?
Now it's called Burger Fiance,
Okay.
but before it was just Burger with that V instead of the U.
Right. I remember both. So now it's Burger Fiance, but you are our
Yeah.
partner with them.
Yeah. So we took the best seller of each location and put them
The
together.
next menu.
Yeah. And in between, I did like a Casa Kaizen. It was a Mexican place, but sadly didn't survive the pandemic.
Right. Pandemic really shook me.
Yeah.
Shook me up.
Well, I always try to feel myself busy, but I always say that's my last
You
thing.
never know, right? Yeah.
And then there's always something coming up. There's something new coming up, but it's not set on stone yet, but it's very far from here.
Okay.
Let's say it's the other side of Canada.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, whenever it becomes a little bit more solidified, I'd be interested to know what it is. I wanted to also say something that I see vegan restaurants and vegan chefs like yourself really on the forefront of the vegan movement. I think a lot of people who aren't vegan, they won't even think about that unless the food tastes really good. So having places like this, you can bring as a vegan, you bring your friends, not worried about them not liking the food. It's I think it's a very integral part of this movement that I think is really growing. So thank you for opening this location. I'm very happy that it's here, and yeah, I can't wait to try things out here.
Well, the thing I do the things that I like to eat. That's why it's like everything that I do is like something that I will eat.
And I wonder if that's the appeal, or that's what you get a sense. And like, I didn't know really about you or much about Sushi Momo when I was in Montreal, but I don't know if it's a vibe or you can just tell through the food, but feel like you can understand when there's that kind of meaning behind creation of somebody that's doing it because they like it, they love it.
Yeah.
That speaks for itself sometimes, somehow. I don't know.
I
without
hope
words.
so.
I think that way because it was one of my two favorite places there. It was one of my two favorite.
Which one was the other one?
Umami.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite actually.
Yeah. Oh. Man.
Oh yeah.
I think I would go back, but I wanted to try them all. Like every vegan place.
I like the umami. It's like a very very Japanese one.
Yeah.
They stick to Japanese. I'm like more fusion. I'm all over the place.
Yeah.
More like a flavor.
Right.
And they're like a very Japanese. That's why I love it.
And the place too, like it was like sitting at the bar, and they had the ice cream there.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
Yeah, there's places, and then I think Burger Fiance that had the fried chicken with I feel like it was lion's mane. They use lion mane in their chicken.
I think it's shiitake.
Oh yeah,
Shiitake mushroom. Yeah.
I didn't know what it was, but it was a while ago.
Because
Anyways, yeah.
I used to use lion manes, but I don't know if you're talking about because it was Casa Kaizen that I used to do that, but I don't know if you ever tried it.
I didn't try that place. I don't think so. I was there 22 years ago.
Ah, so probably not.
Yeah, 2 years ago, and then maybe 3 years ago. It was different.
So it was shiitake mushrooms. Probably.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Huh, interesting. Because now lion's mane is kind of like a popular.
Yeah.
It's all over social media or fried chicken and stuff like that. Huh. Okay, well, yeah, that's what I had. Again, thank you very much.
No worries, my
It was
pleasure.
a pleasure. Yeah.